Hello, gorgeous souls. Happy Tuesday, or happy whatever day that you're watching this, because you're probably catching the replay. I wanted to talk today about manifesting. That's a word that gets thrown around a lot, right? Well, why don't you just manifest that? Or what are you manifesting this week? And so I wanted to chat about what the word means to me. And I actually want to give you a challenge to take your manifestation practice to that next level. And some of this is just misunderstood or made a little bit overly woo-woo, if you will. And I have no problem with woo-woo. By the way, I'm not knocking woo-woo at all. Love the woo. But in talking about manifesting, we manifest things all the time. It basically just means creating that which we desire. Okay, that's what I'm talking about when I talk about manifesting. And we do this all the time, but most of the time that we're doing this, we're not fully conscious of it. So we forget something really important to do, which is to celebrate that which we have manifested or that which we are in the process of manifesting, because things don't just come into their entire form all of a sudden, but there are the initial stages. There's the teeny tiny steps that bring those things, activities, actions, items closer to us. So I'm going to give an example that just happened yesterday. Well, basically it happened overnight. I'm a big fan of Jane Goodall. Perhaps many of you are too. And her work in the world has been very important to me because of how much I love the earth and all living creatures. So I have had this unique opportunity where she's basically coming to my city, which is very unusual. We don't tend to draw in a lot of names of environmentalists, and certainly not a lot of primatologists. So when I found out that she was coming here, by the time I searched for tickets online, there was nothing. And so I had called the box office and said, I know that there are no tickets for Jane Goodall's talk, but I'm actually not willing to accept that. How else can I get tickets? Do I show up the day of the event? What's the best way to do this? And the person at the box office said to me, well, we will be releasing some of the tickets that did not sell. I guess they put a bunch of blocks on hold for certain groups. Whatever's left that didn't sell, we will be releasing them at this time on this day. Stacy, seriously? Stacy says, I had a dream I found Jane Goodall tickets last night. Oh my gosh. That is so freaky crazy, because I was also going to talk about dreams in this live stream too. I cannot even believe that. I can't even believe you said that. Okay. This is the synchronicity is just, So I said, cool. So that's how I'm going to get my tickets. He said, call in at 10 a.m. yesterday. Call the box office and we'll be able to tell you if there's tickets available. So don't you know, at 10 to 10, I call in and somebody answers. And then I said, hi, I'm here for my, it's so crazy, Stacy. I'm here for my Jane Goodall tickets. What's available? And he said, oh no, you have to go online and purchase them. They'll be coming up through the portal that's on our website, the ticket event website. So I had a little bit of a panicked feeling, and then I hung up quickly and I logged right in, but then I had to create an account, which takes a little bit of time. So my energy is getting amped up, and I'm getting like that constricted feeling in my heart, like I'm racing against the clock for something. And I finally created an account and I log in and I look, and the way this system works, it's awful. Actually, it's very, very dysfunctional. The tickets, as they pop up available, everything's color coded. So the little seat will turn green if it becomes available. And so as I'm logging back in and refreshing the web page, little seats are popping up as green. And as I try to click on them to grab them, and even one took me all the way through the process of payment, I got to the end of the payment process, and then I got an error message at the top of the screen. Sorry, something happened with this payment. There's an error. Please contact the administrator. Well, there is no administrator. There's no number for an administrator. What administrator? The administrator of my credit card, the administrator of the person who is dealing with the tickets. There's just nothing worthwhile to help me there. So my energy is getting tighter and tighter. I'm more and more wound up. And finally, I realize, like 10 minutes in, I'm not going to get my tickets this way. So I'm going to have to signal the universe. I'm going to have to get into a settled space around this in order for my tickets to come to me. This is actually what I was thinking. I have to bring down my level of frantic and frenetic energy in order to place myself in the receiving place to receive the tickets. So I settled my energy. By the way, this is not an instantaneous process, because once we get that amped up, it's really hard to settle our energy back down. It's not just, for me anyways, as simple as saying, okay, I'm just going to calm down. So I was already frustrated. And so I decided to step away from the computer part of the process, realizing that it was not likely that this was going to be fruitful for me. In the meantime, my son asked me, "Did you get our tickets?" And I told him no, and I had to leave the house. And so I left my son, my 10-year-old, my credit card, and I showed him how to look for the tickets, and I showed him how to enter the credit card information and the code for the credit card and all of that. That was totally new for him, because 10-year-olds should obviously not have credit cards. But I was really hopeful that maybe the change of energy would produce the tickets and that he wouldn't have the same problems and frustrations that I did. As I'm driving elsewhere, he calls me and he says, "I see tickets, but now you're logged out and I don't know how to log you back in." And so this whole long story is just to show you how problematic this situation was. This was not the path of ease. This was the path of most resistance. And we kept trying, which, why do we keep banging our head against a brick wall? I don't know. But we kept trying unsuccessfully and getting more frustrated. So finally I took a deep breath and I told him, let's just let this be. There's got to be another way for us to find tickets. And if we can do so, then we'll go. And if we can't, then maybe we'll still show up at the event, and maybe there will be the miracle of somebody who shows up and wants to give us their tickets, or maybe we can sneak in or whatever. Last night, a cousin of mine, so here's what I did. So I posted on Facebook, "I'm desperately looking for Jane Goodall tickets." I just thought, this is my last resort. Maybe somebody out there has tickets that they're not using. And a cousin of mine who's in the entertainment industry wrote me back, and I had written on the post, there's only handicapped seating left, because there were about 10 tickets that were available for those with disabilities or handicaps. And so my cousin writes to me and he says, well, he works in a theater. He said, "In my theater, you can buy those handicap seats if they do not fill during the time when people are purchasing tickets." And we wouldn't ask anybody what their handicap was. So for some time, I thought about that. Like, does this feel okay to me? Should I do this? It felt like I would be taking a spot for someone who's handicapped in, a parking spot. Or a bathroom stall or whatever. And that just doesn't feel good. And I see what he was saying, because in his theater, when those seats do not sell, they do sell them to the general public. And I suppose every theater has a different protocol for this kind of thing. But while I was desperate to go, I didn't feel quite comfortable doing that. Overnight, while I slept, which is, by the way, when a lot of our manifesting can come more to fruition, while we are sleeping, because we are in non-resistance when we're sleeping. We let go. We travel, I believe, in other realms. And so while I slept, somebody messaged me saying, "I have 2 tickets to Jane Goodall and I cannot use them. Would you like them?" And that's what I woke to this morning. My tickets. And so let me back up for a moment. At a certain point in the process where I was incredibly frustrated and overwhelmed and angsty about this online ticketing process, I took a deep breath and I said to myself, and out loud really, "I'm going. I'm going to go to her talk. I'm going to see Jane Goodall while she is still on the earth. And I'm going to go tomorrow night, and I'm going to take my child with me. And I just placed that into the heart of the universe. And I had this moment of peace, just knowing this is going to happen. I know this is. I could let go of all this right now and walk away from it, and it will still happen. I can trust. Now, that moment was very fleeting, that knowingness, but it was very, very powerful. My mind didn't listen to it because my mind told me, keep going, keep trying. And so I did. But my heart, that intelligent organ of the heart knew, this is handled. This is taken care of. You have created the opportunity for this. This is being manifested for you. Stacy says, yes. So yes, I'm going to see Jane Goodall. Hello. My gosh, I'm so excited. It's amazing. My son is over the moon, and I am too. And I just wanted to use this opportunity to encourage you all to keep manifesting. See what it is that you want. It doesn't matter how you judge it, right? If you think that it's not for you or you're not worthy or blah, blah, all that nonsense. See what it is that you want. Place your heart in the driver's seat there. Feel your way towards that. Bring that thing to you. Use the mind, use your beautiful, brilliant brain as the servant to send it, give it the task. How do I get this? What are some creative ways that I could go about getting this and being open to this? And then at some point, just feel into the peace, that letting go place, and let it come. Stacy says, and you asked for assistance. Yes, I did. That's right. So when I put that out onto Facebook, I had this feeling like this is a platform that, if anything, can produce the type of connection that I need to produce the tickets. It's going to be, for me, it's Facebook. I know for other people it might be other, Twitter or Instagram or something, but I'm a Facebook gal right now. And so that worked for me. But how will you manifest? And what will you manifest? Getting tickets to a sold out event to me is a pretty big deal. Creating more clients is another way of manifesting. Creating health and wellness in yourself and in your family is a way of manifesting. There's so many important, wonderful things that are here earthside for you to manifest. I want you to have fun with it and play with it. And don't forget to celebrate it. Because the fact that I'm celebrating the heck out of this assures me that I stay in the energy of manifesting. Don't forget to celebrate. It's every bit as important as any other step in the manifesting process. Much love to you, souls. Thanks for watching. Love to you, Stacy.